another talking head right now who has been very successful. Maybe it will be more outlandish on First Take where he hosts. That's Stephen A. Smith. But on his own show, and we said we like Stephen A. It's not about that. He does have great conversations. He has great guests.
He's just hardly ever right.
Well, when it's on First Take, there's a lot going on there. A lot.
Yes.
But I'll tell you what, he had Tom Brady on his show, and Tom Brady, who we can all agree, best quarterback we've ever seen, greatest quarterback of all time.
Oh.
What do you got?
No,
you're not going to say
different conversation.
Okay, well, he is. If we're going to say, I'm going to say Tom Brady. But anyway, the point being is Tom Brady had a very interesting perspective on how he's viewing the NFL from a player's perspective and how it's being coached right now. So let's take a listen.
There's a lot of mediocrity in today's NFL. Yeah. I don't see the excellence that I saw in the past.
Why not? Why not?
I think the coaching isn't as good as it was. I don't think the development of young players is as good as it was. The rules have allowed a lot of bad habits to get into the actual performance of the game. Mm-hmm. So I just think the product, in my opinion, is less than what it's been. I think I look at a lot of players like Ray Lewis and Rodney Harrison and Ronnie Lott and guys that impacted the game in a certain way. And every hit they would have made would have been a penalty. You hear coaches complaining about their own player being tackled and not necessarily, why don't they talk to their player about how to protect himself? We used to work on the fundamentals of those things all the time. Now they're trying to be regulated all the time. Offensive players need to protect themselves. It's not up to the defensive player to protect the offensive player. A defensive player needs to protect himself. I didn't throw the ball to certain areas because I was afraid players were going to get knocked out. Mm-hmm. That's the reality. Wow. I didn't throw it to the middle when I played Ray Lewis because you knock him out of the game, and I couldn't afford to lose a good player.
Oh, my.
I feel like I know where you're going with this, and I just want to get my point in.
Yeah.
This is all Tom Brady's fucking fault.
It is. You are the reason, the rules are made for the offensive. The rule was made so you would be protected.
Ever since he had that blown out knee.
Bernard Pollard.
Yep.
Bernard Pollard ruined the NFL because as soon as you touch the golden boy Tom Brady in his peak, no more hitting.
Well, in that case, it was a low hit on that. It was tumbled into, and we talked. There's so many.
Bernard Pollard's hit was definitely totally illegal. It should not.
Yeah, it shouldn't have happened. But so yes, we do know there was a lot of rules changed. The tuck rule, everything. So Brady, everyone's gonna be like, "What the hell?" Tom Brady had the rules changed for him. But I love that answer at the end right there. That there was fear and a game plan. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to throw over the middle because if someone got concussed, someone got knocked out of the game, that hurts their chances of winning. So he has to strategically plan. I get it. You got to be safer. Mm-hmm. But don't you think it's interesting now? The other part I liked him talking about was how players are being coached up in the perspective. Like Tom didn't hold back. Yeah. And it's not like he just was removed from the NFL. I mean, he just retired the past year.
Yeah, but you didn't see him during gameplay where, while he was playing the game, complaining about how the NFL is getting soft because he was the benefactor of a lot of those penalties. So like, I understand what he's saying and he's not wrong, but at the same time, he was part of the problem.
Oh, well, I think he was part of the problem, but I think everyone started to realize that the quarterback drives money. And the fact that Tom Brady was on the best team for 2 decades and he was the face in every single way. Yeah, like I get it. His coming from him, I get what you guys are saying, but I also do understand the style of play of guys like Roquan. We talk about the Ravens has that dog. People are afraid to get hit. He has that mentality. Screw it. Yep. I'm going full speed. I'm playing the way. Mm-hmm. But back then it was serious. Like it was and I think that's what Tom was also trying to say. If rules need to change perspective wise, stop trying to look for, it's ironic that he's saying stop trying to look for calls, but at some point you got to have to coach it up differently.
Right.
And let's just face it. Is this fair to say, guys? There are so many more penalties now that feel like they're altering games more than there used to be.
Yeah.
Right? Take out the tuck rule, take out that. But I'm just talking about from hits, even the Kareem Jackson situation.
Yeah.
That hit wasn't flagged. It should be a flag. Mm-hmm. Broncos recover. That's a field goal. The Broncos win by 1.
Right. Yeah. So there is truth to that. And I do agree. What one thing that I strongly agree with Tom Brady on in that was that the coaching and the level of play just hasn't been there. And we've talked about this, right? Like there aren't that many good quarterbacks right now in the NFL. They're just not there. I probably could name 5 quarterbacks that I would trust on any team, and maybe that's it. I don't, we haven't really seen that, and it might even come down to 3 that I would trust. But so 10, 12 years ago, it was probably around 10 or 15 that you're like, yep, that's the guy, that's their franchise guy. Might not be at that elite status of a Peyton Manning or Drew Brees or what have you, but they were good enough to get their team to win. I just don't know if there's that many quarterbacks right now that can do that. So I 100% agree that there is some sort of issue with, I don't know if it's lack of talent. Tom Brady kind of touched on lack of coaching. Maybe that's it. But, man, it definitely is a lesser product right now than it has been in years past.
Yeah, it's interesting. We talk nowadays, everyone's saying, well, everyone's bigger, stronger, faster. So I wouldn't say talent, but the chess game that you used to play, that's Tom was talking about playing chess. Yeah. Ray Lewis on the other side, Ed Reed. We've heard the clips about Ed Reed intentionally with Peyton Manning doing the wrong play on a game film.
Yep.
So he could try to trick Peyton into making that play the following week.
Intercepted it.
And that's so methodical. Ray Lewis knowing what you're doing, but also that Ray Lewis's presence impacts what you do.
Yeah.
That is different a little bit from what it is now. But hey, it's a topic, but the NFL is trying to get safer. They have to.